VivoBook is a hard sell. On one hand, it's rather unique, as it combines a low-power CPU with mid-tier Nvidia dedicated graphics, and it performs well in most situations and doesn't throttle in games. On the other, it's just average in terms of build, looks, screen quality and even typing experience, although I find this a good match for my style. Pricing is going to make it or break it though, as Asus also offers an Intel Core U-based model with the exact same traits, quirks, and kind of GPU, and this one needs to be more affordable in order to compete and overcome the flaws associated with the Ryzen platform. Read on for the whole story. Performance with everyday activities, decent battery life, and can tackle more demanding loads and games as well, in a lighter package and with a lower selling point that you'll get with most other notebook with similar specs, including in most cases those with an equivalent Intel Core U and Nvidia graphics build, which Asus offers in the VivoBook X570ZD/K570UD series. You shouldn't, however, consider it unless gaming is one of the main requirements, as otherwise you can find better all-day laptops for less with either Nvidia MX150 graphics or just the Intel UHD options that can still easily handle daily chores. This AMD and Nvidia hardware is, however, a rather unusual combo, as the integrated Vega graphics is the Ryzen's platform main selling point over the existing Intel Kaby Lake lines, which is in this case negated by the addition of the dedicated graphics that evens the field in terms of gaming performance. This leaves the Ryzen's end of a table with little on its side except for a small price advantage, while the Intel side gets slightly faster performance, even on the i5-8250U, and increased efficiency. Our test unit is an entry-level configuration. Asus also offers this laptop with an AMD Ryzen 7 2700U APU, the 4GB version of the GTX 1050 graphics chip, up to 16GB of RAM and hybrid storage, with a M.2 SSD added alongside the standard 2.5 HDD, as well as an optional backlit keyboard. This aside, there's also a very similar Asus VivoBook X570ZD, K570UD in the US series in their lineup, with the same features and quirks as the X570ZD, but with Intel Core U CPUs and up to Nvidia GTX 1050 graphics. We'll reference this line throughout the article, as it's interesting to see how the Intel and AMD configurations stack side by side. The VivoBook X/K are Asus's most basic lines of laptops, so it comes to no surprise this unit is entirely made out of plastic and overall just average in terms of build quality. There's a fair amount of flex in the screen's frame, the keyboard, and the area on top of it, but overall it's not that bad. Nor are the plastics used for the outer shell, with a textured finish that somewhat mimics brushed metal, which is a little cheesy on one hand, but on the other should handle scratches and everyday hassle fairly well. VivoBook K570ZD. The screen is a little longer than the main body and leaves a small lip for you to grab and lift it up from, which for the most part is a one-handed operation. Two sturdy hinges keep the display attached to the main body and allow it to lean back to about 140 degrees. The notebook also sits well on a desk thanks to its grippy rubber feet on the belly, and down here you'll notice some air intake cuts, as well as two small cuts for the speakers in the lower corners. The entire back edge is also a big air grill, both for intake and for exhaust. Both share the same layout, which is mostly standard and fine, except for the fact that the arrows are smaller than the other keys and crammed together with the also shrunk number pad section. The number pad lacks a dedicated enter button, but that's standard on this kind of laptops. The power button is integrated as the top right key, which is again fairly common in this class.